In this video, I'm going to go over 7 things that I stopped buying while traveling to save more money and what I do instead. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Number one of the biggest things that I stopped buying while traveling was souvenirs. I'm talking things like magnets, cups, mugs, keychains, all of those sorts of things. Back in the day, I used to buy so much of that stuff and even like random decorative pieces for my house. But then I noticed that one, those pieces never matched the rest of my decor or my furniture, and it honestly just looked terrible. And two, my house and my cabinets just started getting more cluttered with these mismatched mugs and cups, and just my fridge would be filled with magnets. And honestly, these things just started looking ugly to me. So I stopped completely. Now, that doesn't mean that I completely stop buying anything at all when I'm on a trip or that I don't have any sort of memorabilia. But actually, what I started to buy instead of souvenirs were food-related items that are maybe specific to that area or to that region. And what I mean by that is I recently went to Puglia in Italy and I brought back a bunch of dried pasta, specifically this little round pasta, which I think is called orecchiette, but that is actually significant to the region of Puglia, and it's something that we ate a lot while we were there, and we were able to buy dry packets of it and bring it back home. So one, that allows me to take a little bit of my trip back home with me so I'm not feeling the post-vacation blues as much. And two, it allows me to also enjoy a piece of the region or the area that I just went to. And three, it's also something that I actually use. I personally like to cook, and I cook a lot. Pasta is something that I would have bought anyway. So it makes it even more special knowing that this is a pasta that I got from Italy, from that region, and I'm making it for my family and enjoying it with my family. That to me is a lot more meaningful than just a mug or a magnet. The second thing I stopped buying while traveling is breakfast, snacks, and food in general at the airport. And this is while I'm actually transiting from point A to point B. Again, back in the day, I would just leave the house because we were rushing to get our stuff packed last minute. I'd leave the house and then just worry about having food at the airport and getting snacks and whatnot at the airport. And I get it, right? If you're in a rut or you're in a hurry and you genuinely don't have time otherwise, then that's what makes the most sense. Otherwise, we all know that that's not the best option because stuff at the airport is jacked up like 2 to 3 times more. And there's also kind of limited availability. So I personally am a bit of a health nut. I like getting my fruits, my veggies, and my protein. And I also stick to a halal-only diet. So it's always hard to get protein that fits my dietary restrictions at the airport or when I'm out and about. So what I do instead of buying snacks and food at the airport is I actually pack my food, including snacks and breakfast or lunch or whatever the meal is, at home. And I buy my snacks in advance. I either make it if it's something to be made or just buy it, at Trader Joe's or whatever. But this way, I'm saving a ton of money, and I'm also ensuring that I'm eating healthy food and not just eating junk. Obviously, when you're on vacation, it's okay to indulge in food, and trust me, I definitely do, but I try not to do it at the airport because the food's not even that good, and it's not worth it to me. I'd rather spend my time and money and calories when I actually get to my destination and go to like a proper place or get some good street food or something like that. Something that's actually worth it. But for me, the airport food is just not worth it. So I pack everything in advance and bring that with me to the airport, and I will eat it there. This also just kind of takes a little bit of mental stress off my mind. I don't have to worry about okay, now that I'm at the airport, where am I going to eat? What am I going to eat? Am I even going to find anything? Is there anything good at the terminal I'm going to be in? So this way, I just don't even have to worry about that. It eliminates the headache and the stress. The third thing that I stopped buying while traveling is individual water bottles. Instead of this, I just bring my own canteen. Currently, I have in Awala right here. People were using the Stanleys before. It doesn't even have to be one of these. I just love the Awala because it has like a little straw and a big spout as well. So it gives you a little bit of options on how to drink your water. But you can just get any reusable water bottle. It doesn't have to be anything like this. But this saves a lot of money. I don't have to keep buying water bottles, and it also reduces the amount of plastic that I am buying and consuming. And it's much easier to just refill this water bottle from like a filtered drinking fountain somewhere. Or even a lot of the times when we get to the destination that we're going to, the first thing we'll do, or one of the first things we'll do, is go to a convenience store or like a supermarket or something and just pick up a few big gallons of water, and then we just use those to refill our canteens. And That works out so much easier and cheaper. If you're getting any value at all from this video, it would really mean a lot to me if you went ahead and hit that red subscribe button. This way you will be notified anytime I upload similar videos. The fourth thing I stopped buying while traveling is the additional hotel breakfast. So a lot of times when you're booking a hotel, they will ask if you would like to include breakfast onto your package or onto your room, and it'll be like an additional $20 to $45 depending on what hotel you're staying at. And previously I used to do this because it was mostly out of convenience, but now instead of eating breakfast at the hotel, I usually like to go out and eat at local coffee shops or local restaurants. One, this actually saves a lot of money because hotel breakfasts are really jacked up. And me personally, if I am going to a hotel breakfast and there's a buffet or whatever, I'm not gonna eat that much. I will just have like one or two things, and that one or two things usually never adds up to like $45. So for me personally, it's just not worth it. I would rather hit up like a local coffee shop, get that experience, get that vibe, the local vibe in, as well as get like more of a fresh breakfast, I think. And most of the time, if not all the time, it's gonna be a lot cheaper to go this route. For me, it's just a little bit more of an authentic experience, so that's where I choose to allocate my money. Number 5, I stopped buying new travel outfits. In the past, every time I had a trip planned, I used to go out shopping and plan things weeks in advance, months in advance, have all my new outfits ready, literally spend like hundreds of dollars just on outfits for this trip. And usually they were outfits that like I wouldn't even be able to wear again and again. They were very like location specific. But you know, eventually like I realized this is not sustainable, and I would just be wearing those things like once on the trip, maybe twice. And then it would just be sitting in my closet because it's not something I could wear that was like classic that I could wear all the time or incorporate into my regular wardrobe. So this stopped, and now I just try to really focus on using what I have, the pieces that I have, and like mixing and matching different things. And yeah, if there's something that I truly don't have, like if I'm going on a beach vacation or somewhere where I know I'm going to be hiking a lot, or just something where I don't already have the specific type of outfit for it, yeah, I will buy something, but it has to be something that I know I will wear long term and over again. Definitely not spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars anymore for every single trip. I usually just turn to my closet, look at what I have in my existing wardrobe, and mix and match pieces and curate outfits that way. It's so much easier and much cheaper and much more sustainable. We don't need to waste money on clothes like that. It's just not worth it, to me at least. Instead, if I really want to buy something new or cute for this trip, I will buy new accessories. And by that, I mean like maybe a new pair of earrings or a new necklace or something like that, because it still gives that fresh look and, you know, that excitement of wearing something new when you are going on a trip, but without splurging too much and blowing so much money on an entire new wardrobe for 5 days, because that's definitely not worth it. The sixth thing that I stopped spending money on is excessive tipping. Just because I am from America, or we are American, and we have this whole culture around tipping, does not mean that the rest of the world follows suit. Actually, in a lot of other countries outside of America, it is almost considered insulting if you leave behind money. This has happened to me in several places, especially in countries in Asia. You'll be like, oh no, it's okay, just keep the change. And they'll be like, no, no, no. Like they feel offended and insulted if you do that. So especially if you're traveling somewhere outside the US, so internationally, make sure that you do your research and see if there is a tipping culture in that country. And if there isn't, then I think a few words of appreciation to your waitress or to your waiter goes a much longer way. You don't want to offend them and upset them by offering them money without change or tipping. When it's just not acceptable, they're not used to it, it makes them feel uncomfortable. So just steer clear of it. And honestly, this way you'll also end up saving some money because you're not worried about tipping on top of your already maybe heftier, expensive meal. The seventh thing that I stopped spending money on was unnecessary travel insurance. So you'll notice that every time you're trying to book a flight or a car or even sometimes a hotel, there will be a page along the checkout process that offers you something like, oh, for an additional $20 or $30, you can add on insurance and protect your trip and get a full refund if you need to and whatnot, blah, blah, blah. And a lot of the times, like, I would fall for this back in the day. This is way before. However, know that if you have a good travel credit card, your credit card will already come with insurance that covers majority of these scenarios. So if you have a good travel credit card and you're buying the insurance that the website is offering to you on top of that, you're just double booking and overpaying. So you really don't need to do that. Just check with your credit card company what their travel insurance policies are. This way you will be saving a ton of money, and why pay extra money for something you already have? And if you don't have a good travel credit card and you have no idea which one is a good travel credit card or where to get started, then I highly suggest you check this video out next, where I go over exactly that. I go over the best travel credit cards in the market today that will give you things like travel insurance and even allow you to accumulate amazing rewards points and travel for free. I'll catch you in the next video.